Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 3 of the Perfect 10, aka P10 for short. If you are just tuning in on day 3, it is okay. Don't have any type of A word, no anxiety if you're just tuning in and you're like, well, I want to get caught up. So even if you are just tuning in, you can still watch today. It's like those certain movies. Today is kind of like one of those certain movies where did you have to watch the first one and the second one to watch the third one and know what's happening? Today's the exception because today is a really special day that I'm going to be doing 2 very powerful client interviews with 2 amazing women who are currently in my one-on-one transformation coaching program called Envision. And they both graduated from the Perfect 10. So we are going to be having these ladies jump on here, our first interview with Lisa Chismar at about 11:40, and the second interview with Kelly Wall at around noon. So get ready. I would say, get your popcorn and your soda, but guess what? That's what fit girls don't do. We got our water. We got our organic coffee. What else do we got? What are you guys drinking? Drop in the comments what is hot in your hand on this cold, wintry day, especially if you're in Western Pennsylvania. So without further ado, if you are new to Perfect 10 and new to this group, my name is Aubrey Warwick, of course, Empowered Fitness Coaching by Aubrey Warwick, and I'm a transformation coach. And what that means is I'm an expert in helping people change their behaviors simply in a healthful way, quickly, to get results in the fitness, nutrition, and mindset arena. Now, I've been doing this for the last 25 years. I'm also on the Pittsburgh Today Live morning show. I am their TV fitness expert, and I've been working with PTL for the last 7 years. It has been such an amazing journey. The other thing that I do by night is I own and operate a pole dancing studio. So if we are friends on Facebook and connect, you are going to see me in the fitness realm that's a little bit more professional. And then you're going to see a different stealthy side of me in the pole dance realm. And we have some people jumping on here today. Hello, BJ. Hello, KJ. I want to give a shout out to those of you who have been showing up doing your homework, aka the U work. Okay, so if you have been doing the U work, I want you to drop in the comments a yes, you've been doing it. Okay, so on day 1, we did the sticky note stop sign technique saying stop, I'm a perfect 10. You guys might ask, like, Aubrey, didn't you figure out this reverse image yet? I know I didn't. I'm sorry. On day 2, your assignment was to screenshot when you were going to do your Hourglass Goddess workout, in addition to your P10 workout. And I got some questions also about that. Some people said, hey, Aubrey, do you have a video of just that Hourglass Goddess workout? Because I went through some exercise demos yesterday, and you can catch those replays. Ladies, after today, you want to get caught up because day 1, you can't really succeed with the Perfect 10 unless you do day 1's assignment. It is the most powerful step, and that's why it's on day 1. Day 2 is imperative because you are learning habit anchoring. And these are things that we've put into our toolbox, or what I call the Perfect 10 tool set. Gals, now it's really important. I want you to ask yourself this prevalent question, and it is, am I here to just sit, watch, and listen, or am I here to actively participate to change my life? Because right now, you don't have to think, I have to do everything perfectly to get my end result of being me, the me version 2.0. But you do have to take action. In fact, the action just has to be you moving forward, because inch by inch, it's a cinch, versus yard by yard, it's hard. Now, in the same breath, I've been getting some other comments that say, Aubrey, should I be hungry in the mornings? Your body is shifting. And it's important to notice, is it hunger based on your typical schedule eating? Or is it really saying like, yes, I do need more fuel, which you might have to increase your serving size with a liver rescue smoothie. You might have to have a little bit more fruit in the morning before you start to integrate your proteins for the lunch and dinner. So please use your best discretion and common sense. Whole foods are going to be your best choice on the perfect 10, and just reread through the manual and those videos. When in doubt, you can DM me. Please don't hesitate, because the thing is, I want you to finish the perfect 10. I want you to experience the true benefits of what it is like to treat your body with this, to prove to yourself, not to me, to prove to yourself that you are, number one, good enough. I'm not going to say smart enough and doggone it, people like me, but there I did. You just made me do it. You forced me to do it, gals. Now, right now, we were writing, stop, I'm a perfect 10. By the end of these 10 days, if you're like still in disbelief, it's time for you to take some massive action. And that's what these ladies did. They were like, you know what? These 10 days were great. You really showed me something about myself. We shined some light on my blind spots. And I realized that I'm ready to take massive action, that I'm ready to go all in, to ascend and to go to 2.0. All right. So without further ado here, I'm going to pull Lisa on in just a second. I see that she's joining us on the live. I want to preface this by saying sometimes Facebook is really kind to us when I bring someone on the live. Other times it's a little wonky. So if you guys can just bear with us no matter what, I promise you what you're about to listen to, it can be so impactful. If your life has not yet changed for the better in terms of your fitness and your health, it's imperative that you listen to these ladies. They are here to be raw and real and a little vulnerable to share with you their story. And I'm going to interview them. Okay. Now, let's say you're like, Aubrey, I am right where I need to be. I'm just doing perfect 10 as a tune-up. You know what? Listen anyway, because I always get motivated. I hear something different when I'm listening to people who have transformed themselves and what they talk about their journey. It helps to actually push me. It's like this, I put rocket fuel in my tank instead of the unleaded stuff in my 2020 Honda Civic. What would that look like? Rocket fuel in my Honda Civic. Probably not a good thing. All right, so let's sit up straight and take a breath. Today is the day that you are investing in yourself. That you're going to, I want to ask you gals, what is your biggest objection from doing a transformation program? So drop in the comments a yes if you agree with me. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Drop in those comments a yes. If I see any no's, I'm going to be like, what are you talking about? So drop in the yes. All right, show me that you are not just sitting back, listening, being the fly on the wall. What I said yesterday, I was like, you're the fly, but you're the fly eating the food. Okay, here we go. And again, I want to say hi to Colleen. Hello. Okay, gals, it is time. I see Lisa. She is watching. Let's see if we can bring her on the live video. So I'm going to click them on video. And Lisa, you should be getting something on your phone, on your screen here, that is going to say accept. Oh, it's going to work. Yes. Hello. Hello, Lisa. Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you crystal clear. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Lisa. Lisa snuck off to a different part of a building to do this interview, which is, I'm so appreciative. So, Lisa, I would love for you first to just kind of tell us where you were, let's say, 5 months ago.
5 months ago, I was very frustrated. I was in my 4th year of menopause. And, you know, menopause is sneaky because those pounds just gradually on every year. And I really struggled. And even though in the past I've been physically fit, I've worked out, nothing I ever tried from my past worked. So midlife doctor recommended you. And, you know, change is scary and you have to be consistent, but I followed everything you told me to do, what to eat, work out. And I think the whole mind, body, spirit transformation is so key. Like everything plays a role in making all of them
Mm-hmm.
complete. And I'm down 22 pounds. And
And how many weeks has it been? I know these answers, but I know not everyone listening and watching does.
I want to say it's been, well, I started August 27th. So it's been about what, 20
Yeah.
weeks maybe?
Mm-hmm. So you started at the end of August. That's when we did our, like another Envision launch. So, gang, Lisa, she signed up for my 6 month transformation series at the time once I was doing a perfect 10. And a mutual friend and midlife doctor obviously recommended her to call me. You booked a discovery call with me, and you were sharing with me, like you said, your struggles. And I think one big thing was identity, and you said, you know what, I used to be fit. And she also revealed something else to me. You were like, I used to do modeling. I was like, oh my gosh, great. So what happened is, as you said, things change over time, and it's kind of sneaky because it's like the thief in the night. You're like, wait a minute, how did I wake up here? Because I don't identify with where I am right now.
Right.
And that was a big part of it, and focusing on the mindset. So it wasn't just, hey, just follow this cookie cutter plan, A to Z. And we definitely did some different dietary strategies that really made sense for you to do right now. And we continue to change them, based on how your body's progressing or if there is any stagnation, which really you were in such a great spot because you were just at this state of readiness back in August, that you were very open-minded. You were like, listen, I have a goal. And I think authentically we connected in that way, so that you were able to take the information and apply it with the appropriate mindset, that it didn't feel like you were on a diet, that we were depriving you, that this was meant to be hard or taking up so much time. So, a lot of those times people, those are their objections. I don't have the time, I don't have the money, and I don't have the resources. What do you think was your deciding factor, first of all, I guess, to sign up for Envision?
Um, well, nothing else had been working.
Mm,
And viewing your page and seeing you and how you, everything that you say, you actually do yourself.
mm,
And I just was ready. And
yeah,
I mean, with anything you do, you have to be consistent and you have to be willing to put in the work, because I didn't just sit here and cut my calories and lose 22 pounds. No, there was more to it than that.
yeah. Yeah, and you know what? And everyone's different, Lisa. Everyone's different, but over the course of 20 weeks, a lot of times, let's say like textbooks, we hear like, oh, the healthiest way to lose weight is about 1 pound per week. And you are kind of a textbook example like that. And that happens kind of like 50% of the time when I work with women, where it's like sometimes that seems like an ideal case scenario and other times it doesn't. So that's where it was a beautiful point for you that also carried you from a momentum standpoint, where it was like each week you started to see this progress. And we measure progress differently. We don't always measure it with the scale, but now you're approaching a very different point because you have blessed and released the 22 pounds. And our goal right now really isn't to, let's say, lose more weight. It's a matter of we're working on something like a technique called reverse dieting and continuing to preserve muscle mass and grow. Um, so what could you tell someone perhaps in your position who might say, I don't really have weight to lose, but I do want to change my body composition. What would you suggest to them in terms of them, I guess, inquiring about a program like this?
Well, the program I'm doing right now, I am lifting
Mhm.
weights. And although I've been doing that from day one, but we did just adjust my program.
Yep.
And so I'm not losing weight anymore, but I'm still losing
Hmm.
inches. And
Hmm.
um, I had started at a size 10. I just recently got back into my size sixes, which I'm so excited about. Yeah.
Yes, we like to snap, snap and clap. Congratulations, by the way. That is a huge accomplishment. Um, and something, you and I talk about this as adults, like we forget to celebrate those wins, right? And it's a matter of like, well, there's a group component to our Envision program where it is really important to celebrate those wins, especially as women, supporting other women along the journey. You and I, we work together one on one, but we do have this group component to the Envision series where we do have a Zoom calls twice a month. We measure your fitness endurance, and we also have time to just connect with other people kind of in the same boat. And I really, you amongst all the many of the other women, you've inspired so many women to just be like, oh my gosh, wow, I'm going to keep doing what she's doing. And I think that is such a beautiful thing. And I appreciate you for that, because it's also sometimes it's hard to share, where we once were, because it's not, it can be an emotional thing, right? I know that, sometimes like when you first take your check-in pictures, it's a vulnerable moment.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's pretty cool to look back to week one and scroll all the way down, and you just see this person shrinking and shrinking and changing. And
Yeah. Yeah. And I appreciate you saying that, because I find a lot of times, especially when people do Perfect 10, it's a free program. They want to do it kind of half-heartedly from the standpoint of like, I don't want to take my pictures or measurements because I feel embarrassed. They make me feel a certain way. And sometimes as human beings, we don't want to feel the feelings. And I get it, because I was there. I'll always remember the feelings that came up for me when I did my first check-in pictures. I was not very happy about that. Um, and so, what would you say to someone who is at a place that they don't feel like they're a perfect 10? They're not falling in love with who they see in the mirror. Do you have any advice for them?
well, one thing you had said was we are not our bodies. And you just have to look in the mirror and know that anything is possible.
Mm,
Never thought I would be where I am right now.
hmm.
And, when I did put on like smaller clothes, I looked in the mirror and I was just like, hello, old friend. You know?
Oh, you just gave me the
Yeah.
chills with that. I love that.
I,
Wow. Wow. Yeah. And you know what? Oh, yeah, I got the chills again. That's a really powerful statement, Lisa, because you got your mojo back.
mhm.
And I like how you said, how menopause is tricky. Life is tricky because this is the first time we're all going through it
Right.
in this body, at least as far as we know. And as we start to go through it, it's kind of, you look at yourself in a certain way, and it takes a lot of introspection. It takes a lot of awareness. And I think that's probably what my program, the type of person my program attracts is someone who has that level of awareness, that the missing ingredient typically when I'll book calls with them, and some people are like, yes, I know I'm ready. They have no objections. They don't say time, money, there's no facts that they turn into excuses. However, there's also some people that are on the fence, and there's a part of them that will almost shame themselves. Well, they'll say, they'll put the word should. Well, I know, Aubrey, I should do something like this, but I should spend money elsewhere. I should do something like this, but I can get something free on YouTube. Or I should do it. I don't have the time right now. One thing that we did is that we manipulated time with you in a way, because we don't go from 0 to 60 when we started out. It was like, we didn't need to do that to move the needle for you anyway. We looked at your schedule to say, okay, this is the time realistically that you can and want to commit to it. And as you continue to progress, we had an honest conversation about it. And I was like, well, are you ready to go to the next level? And you're like, well, heck yeah, I am. and and it didn't, honestly, on this timeline that you've been on, you've almost had like these Amazon Prime results, I say. Now, Amazon Prime, we get it overnight, right? But um, it's almost like the stars aligned for you. And we also talk about like, hey, there is going to be some times now coming up, because if the scale's not going down, we love to see that. What do we look at next? So what do you think is your, how do you feel like you're going to keep the eye on the prize over the next several months ahead when the scale might just stay the same?
Well, I was just telling my coworker, I was like, feel my muscle. I was like, I'm not even feel it. And just to see the change, it's addictive,
Yeah.
because you're like, oh my God, if I could do that, what could I do in another 3 or 4 months?
Yeah.
And I signed up for a bikini competition, and I'm going to crush that. I'm going to crush it.
Yes, you
Yes.
are. Yeah. And I'm so glad we're recording this, by the way, because guess what? I will be sending you this replay a couple months from now. You know? Any yes. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that confidence that um you regained
Yes,
doing this, that you
definitely.
regained, because I know that, not knowing you before this, but it wasn't like you just suddenly got this in the mail. You had this part of you, and it was just kind of like bringing that person back out and just ready to roar. So you are going to crush it.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I'm just excited to watch my body change and develop.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know what I mean? Like, that is possible for anybody if they want it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're my idol
Oh my
and you
gosh.
inspire.
Sure. Thank you. Hey, you know what? I love to practice what I preach, Lisa. I'm telling you. And I think the one thing that I am so grateful for is that you see that side of me. My goal is to say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to recommend anybody do anything that I haven't done and that I don't believe in. And people come to me all the time, Aubrey, what do you think about this diet, that supplement, or anything? And I honestly tell them, I can't give you my recommendations because I have not experienced it. But what I have experienced, and even working with people, I can base it off of X, Y, or Z. And I'm so glad that I do inspire you, because the one thing is that I've come to terms with is my chronological age. There was a time I hated when people would ask me how old I was. It was almost like they were asking me what my scale weight was. You know,
Yeah.
like that old thing, like you never ask a woman how much she weighs unless it's your doctor. And when people would ask me that, I would want to like lie about it. And now I'm like, I was doing people around me a disservice instead of saying like, I'm 44 years old. I've had a kid. I've been overweight, sharing these things that were once kind of sore spots for me, and just kind of owning that is obviously helps make people more relatable. So I'm glad that just me doing my thing has inspired you. The cool thing is that you see a part of yourself in me
Yeah.
where you're like, I believe in myself so much, and you've reminded yourself that you are enough to say, I deserve that too. I deserve to drive a car just like that and invest and make that investment.
Yes, definitely.
Well, that is awesome. Lisa, I am so grateful that you were able to sneak away today. There's lots of really amazing things that you said that I hope it really hits home with people, and if they're watching live or on the replay. But I will definitely send this video out, and this is great footage for you for later, because I bet, and I want to put this out there, that for those of you watching this, and obviously with Lisa's permission through time, um, to kind of see some documentation of her journey to her very first bikini show. And I think it's going to be amazing. And Lisa, do you mind if you share your chronological age? You can say no. I just put you on the spot.
I am 52, and when I compete, I will be 53. And I kind of really dig that I'm going to be 53, doing my first bikini show and giving a big middle finger to menopause.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. I have something funny. I have this app on my phone that you can like blur out things. Like if there's somebody in your video that you need to blur out because you don't have their permission to post the video, it's really nice. I feel like during one of your videos for your posing session, you're gonna flip the middle finger and we'll just blur out your middle fingers and say, something about menopause. I think that could be your next mind movie.
Yeah.
So I see it now. I love it. Lisa, you are a beautiful soul, beautiful person, and I am delighted and honored to be working with you in all sincerity. So I hope you have the best day and you just skip right out of work today, high on life.
Thank you. Same to
Yeah.
you.
All right, Lisa, I'll talk to you soon, of course.
Okay.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye. Okay. All right, gals. Let's see if I am still out there. Hey, Gay. Hey, Nicolette, Patty. Wonderful. What did you guys think of Lisa's interview? Give me any comment below. Was it moving? Was it definitely was a thumbs up. Maybe give her some hearts, some fire, inspiring. And let's see, I want to make sure that I am still on the live. I think I should be. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Roman is by my side. Hi there, buddy. How's it going?
Those protein bars, they like kind of make my mouth like itchy. They like,
Oh, geez, they did.
yeah, I had to
Okay.
like throw it away.
Oh, geez. Okay, we'll have to look at that. Okay, will you drink some water?
Yeah.
So, this is crazy. So, there's an ingredient, and sometimes, okay, let's talk about ingredients real quick before I bring on Kelly Wall. Roman is off from school today. My son, he's 8. He said, Mommy, those granola bars that I had, because they were supposed to be, they're like 6 ingredient bars, but I guess they had pea protein in them, and they made his mouth itchy. So, there's a certain ingredient in there that we just can't have. Darn it. And it was a special treat today. Gotta watch out for those sneaky treats. He's okay. Dan's got his back. Okay. Um, Dan, you can't look on your phone to see if my video is still working, can you? Okay, Dan's gonna check that out. In the meantime, let's see if we can find. Hey, Vicky, I do see you guys coming on here. Our next client interview is with an equally amazing human being. Her name is Kelly Wall, and she's been doing the Envision program just a smidge longer than Lisa has been. And I want you guys to hear her very powerful story next. So we are going to be inviting Kelly. So just give me a second, gals. You can get a sip of water. You can maybe do your Hourglass Goddess workout as we are going to get her. Allow viewers to request you join. And we're going to, there we go. Okay. It is technically not noon yet, so I'm going to wait 1 second to see if Kelly joins. And Kelly, well, if you are listening, I never like to, okay, Dan just joined. Okay, it is updating. Okay, so we still have a little bit of time. Yeah, we still have a little bit of time. I just wanted to make sure it was populating. Sometimes when people jump on, I don't see it. So thanks. Okay, Kelly says that she's here. She just texted me. I have Kelly Johnston. Let's see, Lisa, Gay, Nicolette, Patty, Vicky. Kelly Wall, if you hear me, will you X out of Facebook and then join again? Or just like leave Facebook real quick, and I'm hoping that will kind of refresh, and then I could bring you on, because I wanted to try to invite you, but here is the conundrum. Okay, let's see. Thank you guys for hanging in there. Guests allow viewers to request to join. Here's where I did tell Kelly Wall, I said, you know what, sometimes it's a little crunchy with this delay. with Facebook. I said we'll have to give ourselves a little patience here. It's like everyone who's watching now, I can bring you on video. Just have a little impromptu party. Okay. Oh, can you get my other phone? I'm going to try to text Kelly at the same time. We'll try to do that. All right, gang. So let's see. Make sure, as I'm waiting for my feed to update, that you try the box breath today. No, I did want to talk about that. Thank you, bud. We did do the box breathing technique in my yoga class last night. But what I wanted to mention is that if you feel that you are inspired, today's the day to definitely book a discovery call, because my next wave of Envision clients, we are starting next Tuesday. So if you want to be the next Lisa Chismar, I am telling you, gals, sign up soon. I can take right now 3 new clients. Okay. Can you see me now? If not, I'll try from my iPad, she says. Unfortunately, I cannot see you. Try from your iPad here, Kelly. And I apologize, guys. I don't want you to miss her at all. And I'm wondering even if I X out and we can redo that, we might do that. So I apologize, gang. We might even have 2 videos. So yes, booking that call. Biggest objections, are time. And as you guys heard, how I worked with Lisa on building around her schedule and how we created this new fun hobby for her, because it was worth it. Progress equals happiness. Write that down. Progress equals happiness. That is not my quote. That is Tony Robbins' quote. For those of you who know me, are you surprised? She says she is on her phone now. We're going to do it one last time and then, oh, yes, there you are. See, it just wanted you to be 2 minutes late. All right, I'm improving you right now here, Kelly. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. I know 2 minutes can feel like an eternity when stuff happens like this. Hey, thank you so much, Kelly. Sorry for that. I have not figured out why that happens, and I don't know if I ever will. So thank you so much, my curly-haired goddess, for joining me today.
No, I
And
bet Lisa's story is wonderful.
good. Well, all right, Kelly, I want to get to it. We just heard from Lisa, who you've met through our Zoom meetings. And Kelly, you have been such, like, I want to say, a pivotal pioneer in this last Envision group. You've pretty much you're almost finished with the 6-monther, right? And if you don't mind, can you share with everybody listening and catching the replay where you were a little over 6 months ago?
Yeah, so I heard Lisa say frustrated,
Mhm.
and that was definitely it. So I was on my 11th year of perimenopause. I'm still in peri.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
the
Yeah.
beginning of my 40s were horrible with all the symptoms that you could possibly imagine. Did a lot of things back then, eventually got everything to kind of calm down to my new normal. Well, then I entered my 50s. And things started changing again. And menopause has to be here at some point, which is even going to make it worse.
Mhm.
But my symptoms were ramping back up. The weight gain was coming back on. I started a different form of exercise because I've always had movement in my life. I started working with a nutritionist,
Yeah.
very accountable, sending pictures of everything I ate. I had done that for 4 months, and I was at my weight ever and couldn't lose a pound. And so I had started at a new midlife center. My physician had left. I went to a new center, met a new physician, and she told me about you.
I'm so grateful for Deanna. She's amazing. Um, she really believed in everything that I was doing. Her and I actually met through my studio, and um, she's a wonderful person. And obviously, she's a health professional. And for you to take that, and that referral, and you and I, when we first had our discovery call, I was really honest with you. I said, well, okay, you were doing so many things right. I was like, we were trying to find your blind spots. And I said, okay, well, we might be able to work together right now, or I'm not sure if you should see a functional medicine specialist, right? And also, I was just doing another launch of Perfect 10. So you had some choices to make. And could you tell everybody at that point, you kind of had this three-pronged fork in the road, and what choices did you make and why?
Sure. So I talked with functional medicine physician, and that person in particular, I mean, scared me, made me sad. Essentially said that if I wasn't in that office every week making significant changes, there was no chance that I would lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, wait till you hit wait till you hit menopause, it's going to be even worse. And I already had this fear, like that my genetics were catching up to me. I had watched the women in my family, and it's always been a fear of mine. It was my whole motivation, always having movement in my life, because I didn't want to be like them. I didn't want to end up sitting in a recliner and never being able to leave my house because I was so overweight. And so to have somebody tell me that, unless I make all of these changes and, I'm in this office every week, like I'm not going to get any better, it scared me. And I told you that.
Right. Gloom and doom.
And then, you had told me about Perfect 10, and I'm like, well, I can do anything for 10 days, right? So I thought, I'll try it. I mean, I've tried so many other things. They don't work, but it's 10 days of my life. I'll try it.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't, certain that any of these things were going to help.
Mm-hmm.
I was a bit intimidated looking at your website,
Mm-hmm.
tried so many things, and I thought, well, I'll try it. What's it going to hurt?
Mm-hmm.
It's 10 days. And
Yeah.
What we were able to do in 10 days was unlike, what I had been able to do over the past decade. I lost weight. I could tell my body was like reacting to all of the changes as well, in terms of detoxing. But I mean, I lost, I think, 5.5 pounds in 10 days, and I couldn't lose a single pound working with a nutritionist for 4 months, doing everything she was telling me to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I got really excited really quick. And I
Wow.
wanted to keep.
Kelly, that's so powerful to people listening who, to 10 days, because where you were in that season of life, you're like, listen, I could do anything in 10 days. I've been chipping away at this sucker for so long. So gang, I want you to put that into perspective. If you're like, oh my gosh, 10 days, how am I going to get through the weekend? You got to flip the script. And by them listening to you, first of all, what we have deduced is Kelly Wall ain't no quitter, that's for sure. And you were very determined. Instead of just, how many times you saw people in your family, okay, this is the writing on the wall. Then you have some, other very well-known professionals say like, hey, lady, you're going to be screwed unless you do this one thing. And we all know that maybe there could be a layer to that. However, it was almost like the universe was testing you to say, yeah, keep going. You're not there yet. One more door is going to open for you. And I do believe that no matter where a person is on their journey, I talked about it. It says, I can help you with what is in my wheelhouse, what I know. And the one blind spot that we specifically found for you that no one really was addressing was, how are we going to just cleanse your liver for a little bit? Because you were doing, correct me if I'm wrong, you did dabble with intermittent fasting before, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I
Yes, everything. That was the thing. So this is the funny part, funny, not funny, is that a lot of times we hear, well, I'm in perimenopause and I need to have a narrowed eating window. I need to do intermittent fasting. This is what it says on ChatGPT, whatever the case may be. What was different about this is that we know better now. And what once was a fact maybe is no longer a fact. So we gave your liver a chance to really have a jump start. And actually very similar to Lisa, after that, I mean, you were on the success train each week.
I was shocked because there was still this part of me that was skeptical. And I thought, okay, so I lost during these 10 days. Well, then what?
Mm-hmm.
And well, then what was I kept losing. Like,
Yeah.
that weight never
Mm-hmm.
came back. I just kept chipping away a little bit at a time, much like Lisa. Maybe some weeks I would maintain a week or two out of all this. Maybe I gained a tinge, but I just
over the holidays too. Over the holidays.
losing.
Yep.
And not forget, my body threw me some nice curveballs during all this too.
That's what
So
I was going to say.
yeah, so we get started, and I am motivated. Like, I want to do this. And I had been fighting with kind of this shoulder neck issue that I think I had injured during some of my workouts previous in the year. And as soon as we started, it was triggering vertigo, really, really bad, like couldn't get off the floor vertigo. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I want to do this, and I can't even sit upright. So we battled with vertigo for a while. Ended up going to PT to try to get all of this shoulder and neck just to calm down. And when all of that was feeling good, we threw a little shingles in just to make it fun. It just kept coming. Nothing kept me down like for long periods, but these things kept making me feel like, I'm not doing this at my full potential, but guess what? It's still working.
Yes. That is so crucial for people to be reminded of and hear that. Oftentimes another objection when people are like, I don't want to do your program right now because, well, the holidays coming up, or I go on vacation, or birthdays, or right now. There's always a something. There's always a but. And it's never going to be perfect. I mean, you're going to have the irony of perfect 10, right? And it's kind of meant to be an irony to draw people in. But at the same time, you did the absolute best that you could, and you knew and we knew what was working. And we also understood, what can we control right now? We have to let the vertigo either work its course, the shingles to work its course, right? So the things that we already established when we started to work together early on, that was your foundation. And you already came, you know what, Kelly, I think you came out of the womb as a driven woman. And because that's rare. You just start selling your blood for other people to have some of that, because that is how you've wired yourself. You have worked hard with that. And you guys can probably feel her energy through your phones here, where, I mean, you were like, oh, I'm motivated. And you're disciplined. And so I think you might not even realize it, because you probably think you're always motivated, but your motivation and discipline are so neck and neck that you're just like it's like they're interchangeable. Yeah. And that's what I've learned from working with you. And those things will get you far, everybody, just like they did with Kelly. And what I think my biggest takeaway from what we just talked about is that no matter how hard life kicks you when you're down, you get back up, and you get resourceful. And that's what we did, where it was like, okay, this is just a little hiccup. So now in 2025, would you mind sharing, so over the last 5.5, 6 months, the number of pounds that you have lost?
Yeah, so I've lost almost 20 pounds, which we set two scary goals. One was for me to get to my weight from 5 years ago, because I sat there for a bit. And then the other goal is to get me from when perimenopause started. And we're going to get there.
We're going to get there. And you're, what, less than 10 pounds away from that?
Yes.
That second weight, what gang? Yeah, which is awesome. Which gang, just as a point of reference, once Kelly got to 20 pounds, you were kind of like, oh, well, crap, I did it. Well, let's do this other one. I wasn't quite sure if that was possible. And that kind of happens a lot, no matter what goal we have. I reference financial goals a lot, because sometimes it's like, well, we don't believe that we can make a certain dollar amount until we make that dollar amount. And then once you do it, you're like, okay, well, now I can see that I can get to that next bump up on the pay scale or whatever. And that's really what you're doing. Now, I think it's also really important to note that you didn't allow the facts of your life to become excuses.
No.
And
I'm motivated for sure. And the other thing that I want to make sure that I mention is we started doing this for weight loss, and that's been working fantastic. What I didn't anticipate, though, was how it was going to help all my other perimenopause symptoms. And so, yeah, I'm thrilled with the scale, and the scale is going to keep moving, and that's great. But all of those symptoms that started ramping up in my 50s, all of a sudden started dialing back. Now, I'll tell you, when I first did Perfect 10, it's almost like it kicked them even higher at first, like my body was fighting. And then all of a sudden, I just watched them start to fall away. And honestly, I haven't felt this good, for a long, long time. Like I heard Lisa say it too. Like I'm remembering that old Kelly, that was before perimenopause, that like had my act together and felt good. And throughout perimenopause, you don't feel like yourself anymore. And it wasn't just the weight gain, it's all those symptoms that come along with it. And so to have this bonus of I'm getting back to a size that I'm more comfortable in, but the hot flashes and the anxiety and all the other things that come along with perimenopause, to have that dialed back down, it's amazing.
Wow. And you gave me the chills with that. I am so grateful for you, my friend. I mean, holy smokes. I'm telling you what. I've told this to Kelly, our other Kelly in our Envision series. She's probably watching KJ. I said, can I clone you guys? Because attitude is a huge part of it. And I really do think everyone who shows up to Perfect 10, to this group, we all have this undercurrent of positivity. We want to succeed at anything that we tackle. And at the same time, we could be our own worst enemy. And that's something that I never have really seen with you, Kelly. So could you give maybe some advice to a person out there who, they're like, hey, listen, I don't feel like I'm a perfect 10. I mean, that was great for Lisa. That was great for Kelly, but like their confidence is down. Like that has been their default. Do you have any advice for them?
I mean, I'll be honest with you, Aubrey. When I was referred you, and I like to research, I like to read. That's who I went to your site. I was very intimidated when I saw your physique and this pole dancing studio, and I thought, this isn't for me. Like, this is too much. Like, I don't know that I'm going to be comfortable with this. And grateful that you had, P10 where you could try it. And then I, very quickly got to know you. And I don't think it takes long to understand the type of person you are. Maybe I didn't fully understand that looking at a website, but you talk to you a couple of times and you get it. And like, you are in our corner. And it's so personalized, right? You're helping each one of us with different issues. And to know that you've got somebody that isn't doing this cookie cutter approach, like you're here to help us be the best versions of ourselves. And seriously, like eternally grateful for that. We all can do this. You're here for us. You've got expertise. We can all do this.
Kelly, you're so amazing. Give me the chills and the snaps. And thank you. And it's interesting too. I think that if someone is intimidated, one of two things happens. They either let fear make their decision, or they have faith. And it's like, well, you know what? Let's just take that one other step. And I think too, by you and I, when we had our discovery call, we would know, you know what I mean? Like talking, it was like, okay, we had a couple follow-ups after that. So then it was like, okay, are we a good fit to work with each other? Can I help you? And am I the right person right now for you? And I think that's the powerful thing about just booking those calls for people, because it might not be for other people. And I think that's okay too.
Well, and folks, when they see these end result pictures, the struggle that it was for everybody to get there, right? So when you're just seeing like the end success stories that are out there online, like the amount of work that we've all had to do to get there, it's hard work. You're here to help support us every step of the way. And it just, all of a sudden you just start believing. I think about that vision board, that we had to create too. And I still have it hanging upstairs in my office, and I'm like, it's becoming a reality. And it's amazing.
And we also we have to mention this real quick before I let you go, if you don't mind. We did a vision board, and we also do something really powerful that connects that subconscious mind. We did a transformation song.
So I picked Don't Stop Believing. It was in my head a lot. There was something going on TV where this gentleman had been singing, and it had been in my head a lot, and it was kind of resonating. Well, then I go to Reiki. This person's known me for a while, but again, this isn't a song that somebody would necessarily associate with me. This is not like my favorite singer or anything like that. So I'm in the Reiki session, and all of a sudden this song comes to her during my Reiki session. Or I'm, driving and it's coming on the 80s channel and I'm sending a picture, look, it's here. Or I'm walking through a grocery store and it's on. I'm like, it's following me everywhere. So
It was so cool. That was kind of like our woo-woo moment where I was like, you're on the right path. You are on the right path. And that gave me chills. I just love getting those messages from you too. So it brings so much joy working with you, Kelly. And I want to thank you profusely for making the time, because time is one thing we can never get back. And this is so valuable. I want you to know, I know that you're inspiring someone out there today that's going to give them that hope and faith. And that's a huge, powerful thing. So
I want
I look forward.
struggling to try this, because I'm telling you, it's going to get you in a better place and you're going to feel better about yourself. And getting to menopause, we're all going to be okay now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And maybe just along with Lisa, you give menopause the middle fingers too.
Oh,
That's right. Or do you remember
absolutely.
that one, the suck it symbol, the whoever did that, the WWE guy? Well, anyway, Kelly, I hope you have the best day possible. I'm super excited for your next step when we're going to get to that next hairy, scary goal, and we're going to celebrate the heck out of you, ladies. So
We're going to do it.
all right.
I turn 50 next month and we're going to hit it.
Awesome. I know it. All right, Kelly, you have a great day, and thank you so much again, my friend.
Take care.
Talk to you soon. Bye. Okay, gals, can you please just drop some heart emojis for Kelly? Hearts and fires, please, guys, give her some love. Comment as well. How did that interview make you feel? Guys, I love doing these. When I ask my clients to do these interviews, I don't give them much information. I said, I'm just going to fly by the seat of my pants and see what comes to mind. And I like that because I'm able to be in the authentic moment and to actually feel what they're feeling. And gang, I'm here to tell you it's okay to feel the feelings. Whatever you're feeling right now, if it was frustration like Kelly and Lisa did, you have to start to change that energy. Emotions are energy in motion, right? So what they did, they took that fuel, and it was like, Back to the Future, putting garbage in the DeLorean, because frustrations kind of have a garbagey feel, but they put it in their DeLorean. They put it into the Envision program, and look what has happened. So I guess to use the Back to the Future analogy, it's like they went back to the future. They found that person that was familiar that they really liked. That was the foundation. It was like their mojo. But now they're in this different season of their lives where that they're able to feel even more empowered, inspired, and their belief in themselves has grown and really manifested. So I want to give them a freaking clap and some snaps. I'm super grateful for both of you ladies. Gang, make sure that you book a call with me. Definitely either today, tomorrow, over the weekend. It doesn't take long, 10 minutes. I will describe to you what my program's all about. And in fact, I'm going to throw in some bonus days. Tomorrow, I'm going to go live again with some bonus information to help you make sure that you finish your perfect 10. And to give you that opportunity, I am throwing in a bonus offer. Since I'm taking 3 new Envision clients for this next series, I am offering something that I've never offered before since I have been online coaching. And that is, drum roll, an actual one-on-one personal training session that is, again, it's through the virtual world, but part of my program is we do everything online. We work in like Google Docs. We do our check-ins that way. We do lots of voice messaging. It's very hands-on. It's as hands-on as I can get it without actually taking you through a workout. Now, what I'm offering is to take you through that workout. So it would be very, very beneficial to take advantage of this offer now, because this is something that I just haven't done in a while. And I think that whenever I have my program review calls with my Envision clients, so we call them program reviews, even though we are in communication once a week with check-ins, they have the opportunity to text me through the week. We have 2 Zoom calls a month for continuing education, connection. We do fitness testing on those calls. Right now, I just can't be there at the gym with you, right? Like a live personal trainer would, or I can't be, you don't need to belong to a gym with my program. I can't be there in your house with you while you're working out. Okay, I can come pretty close. I do have clients send me videos of form check or anything like that. So again, the lines of communication are very high touch, as high touch can get. But this next level is to offer to say, hey, we are going to go through your home workout today. We're going to make sure that you are making that mind muscle connection and not stalling with your progress. So definitely by you signing up for this next wave, I'm going to throw that in. We're going to see how it goes, see what you do, what you think, and how you like it. So guys, you don't have to keep hearing it from me. You heard it from some great people. As I do a bonus session tomorrow, before I tell you what that's all about, your homework for tonight is to post a recipe that you really like that would be P10 approved. Hey, I would be okay if you even just posted a little selfie of you with your liver rescue smoothie. Maybe you tried a different smoothie. Maybe you made those cookies I was talking about yesterday. Maybe you made a healthy stew that had lots of cooked vegetables and was high protein and some potatoes, that sort of thing. I would love to see some beautiful recipes. I used to do like sweaty selfies and stuff like that, but I think that the food pictures are much more inspiring for people. I would like to see a sweat too, but I would love to see just what you like to make. Maybe it's your first cup of organic coffee. Maybe, let's see, what else would I like to throw in there? Any suggestions, throw them in the comments because I'm going off the top of my head at the moment. Tomorrow, we are going to talk a little bit more about the nutrition piece and to remind you the method of the madness. And Vicki asked a good question yesterday, if you're still out there, Vicki, about nutrient timing. So it is important with this program that we do time our nutrients. And this is why. We're going to take the quote from Hippocrates, food is thy medicine. So from my research, from my experimentation, from my working with people, we are going to have that medical medium morning where we do the lemon water, wait 15 minutes. Why do we wait 15 minutes? Why is that magic number? 15 to 30 minutes is about the time it takes for the lemon water to go through your digestive tract and to cleanse your liver. So that's why that time frame is important. Then after that is a perfect time to have your liver rescue smoothie, which is one organic banana, 1 cup of wild organic blueberries, and a tablespoon of dragon fruit powder or frozen dragon fruit or fresh. Okay. And if that is not cutting the mustard because maybe your metabolism is a little bit higher than you thought it was, you can add in another scoop of blueberries. If that's not cutting the mustard, you can add in a half a banana, a whole banana, and it should be prevalent. I want you to read specifically on the Anthony Williams link that is posted there because I want to give him full credit for this, that don't be afraid to eat fruit has been vilified. And how do I know this? Because I lived that life. I lived the life when I first started competing in natural bodybuilding back in my 20s, that it was like you could have a quarter cup of berries every day, and I was like craving chocolate all the time. Oh my God, I was craving sweets so badly. And there's so many micronutrients in fruit, but also antioxidants that we don't even know about that are so, so powerful. The issue lies why fruit gets vilified. If you're putting chocolate on it, if you're throwing a protein powder on it or gluten or anything like that. So make sure you follow that protocol, because this is not a protocol where we're like, I need to fit my macros. This is not that. This is a protocol, my friends, that is specifically to cleanse your liver. Your liver is the star of the show. If your liver is not functioning well, if you have weight to lose, if you are hormonally wicked and wild right now, it's because your liver probably has too much fat in it. How do I know this? Because whenever we gain weight, it means that our liver has too much fat in it or protein. And that's what we figured with Kelly Wall specifically. And that's why P10 worked so effectively for her, because her former nutritionist was pumping her full of protein. Now, does that mean like protein should be vilified too? No, it doesn't. Let's be smart about this. If we are not losing weight, if we are hormonal, then the liver is not functioning properly. The number one cause also of fatty liver disease, can anyone guess? It's not alcohol. Fatty liver disease, or a fatty liver, is caused by stress. So also at the top of P10, we have, I have you doing journal assignments. Also yesterday, we did breath work. Can you imagine that just by taking some time to do the box breath can improve your metabolism and your hormones? Remember, I told you that the average human ingests 1 million toxins a day. And the breath is an easy, free example of how we detoxify. Sometimes we look at a program like Perfect 10 and we make it hard because it's so simple. Don't overthink it. And if you need to overthink it, then go read while we're doing it. Now, the goal of the program is to not starve. The goal of the program is to not feel like you're on a diet. The goal of the program is to connect with a part of you, your soul self, to dive deeper and to say, how do I want to heal my body today? How do I want to treat my body well? Well, I'm going to treat it well with my thoughts, through breath, and through my food. And that is why I've selected those organic foods. I've selected that nutrient timing in the morning so that after you have that liver rescue smoothie, and if you're so hungry, you can have an organic apple, maybe an organic pear, drinking some water, having some organic coffee with honey in it, some organic tea. Don't be afraid to eat in the morning. And then once the time is right, let's say around lunchtime, that's when you start to add in your protein and if you want some vegetables, or I would say rice and sweet potatoes are usually like a nice safe food that's easy to digest. Okay. And let's think about our digestion for a moment. We can talk about a little bit more tomorrow. I welcome questions in today's feed so that I can help answer them in tomorrow's episode. But I want to think, all right, it's winter time. I want to have warm foods, okay? Because having a cold salad right now might not make sense. So some of the things at P10, if it's like a raw salad, since it's not summertime, choose something that's hot or steam your vegetables. Again, I digest rice very well. Different potatoes are good. I'm not a pasta person or a bread person. We are omitting those things right now because typically they can slow our metabolism down and be labeled as a troublemaker food. I am not saying you can never have bread again. I'm saying that it is time for you to have an honest conversation with yourself. What foods make you feel good? And when our digestion feels good, our self-esteem goes up. There is a gut-brain connection, because do you ever feel good or sexy when you're gassy and bloated? I know I sure don't. Think about if you have a stomach ache, or if a kid has a stomach ache, do you really feel like you're a rock star? No. So if we feel good with our stomach, with our gut health, then chances are this gives us that instant mood boost. It all works together. Allow yourself to experience what it is like to operate on all of your cylinders. And that is hopefully my gift to you. I hope that you have enjoyed this day. I have thoroughly been touched and blessed with some amazing clients. And I would love to get to know you, connect with you, and please send and tag this video to anyone else whom it really might help, gang. I'm here to serve a purpose, just like you are too. And I really appreciate you for making the time. You can't get your time back, but your time is the most valuable thing that you have. Thank you for spending it with me today. I love you. I appreciate you. Ciao for now. And I will see you for our bonus day tomorrow. Remember, book that call and post your recipes. Talk soon.